Hello, everyone. Thanks for staying tuned in your seats, ordering some snacks. We are back with 7-Eleven Game Time Anytime with Gaming Stadium. It's actually heading into finals that now. Keg, we've been waiting all weekend for this. How are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling great. I love both of these teams. We've already covered them once before, each on side of our cast yesterday and today, and all the strategies, all the different meldings together that we've seen between the two finally comes down between Teal Seam and EX-SERENITY to see who takes home the lion's share of all that prize money.
Yeah, I love too that we've got to watch both of these teams in actions. A little sneak peek of what surely is going to be a treat of a final. So we're going to head over to the bracket real fast. A quick little reminder of what it took for these two teams to be getting to this point. We just got to watch Teal Seam boot Project A out of the tournament. It was a good map 1 and game 2, but map 3 dominating performance, showing why they deserve to be in the finals. EX-SERENITY took down Fenrir, I believe, in a 2-0, and we got to watch them yesterday, and they definitely put up a fight, so I'm excited to watch this.
They looked real good, Sierra. They looked real good. But we're going over to Agent Select now to see how things are going to go down for map number 1. It's going to be Ascent. This was chosen by Teal Seam. And of course, now starting on the defense, it's going to be Serenity. I'm curious to see what those agents are going to be looking like. But who knows? I don't think we've seen Teal Seam on Ascent yet.
Yeah, I was trying to think back too if we've seen Ascent at all, or at least from us this weekend. We've seen a lot of every other map. And I mean, map 2 will be going over to Icebox. That one we're a bit more familiar with. But
Yeah.
Ascent should be fun to be witnessing, especially seeing what compositions these teams are coming out. But this is our little sneak peek of a little what we can expect. And I'm not surprised by these picks whatsoever.
Yeah, there's nothing really too special between either of these teams. Larry Banks, of course, going for the Sova as per usual. Something interesting about Sova on Ascent is that the majority of the walls are penetrable by like an Odin or an Ares, so that makes the Sova play, especially on B, for the defense or even the attack that Larry's starting off on. It's almost like having a second duelist, and of course, we can see Aiko performing the same exact thing. This is an identical roster between both teams here.
Yeah, but as much as identical rosters means we're not going to see a standout agent of, somewhere to keep an eye, I do really like the mirror in terms of it's more evenly matched. You get to see what each team is bringing, and it's going to be those little micro differences that are going to make that big difference overall. And I feel just a really nice little testament of skill.
Absolutely, this is the best way to test out who truly is the best team for the first map, of course, between the two. Now, EX-SERENITY versus Teal Seam. Looking to see at the beginning how Teal Seam wants to set up their attack. They've struggled a little bit on their attack in the last series that we saw. There was some issues with rotates and sometimes the gunfights as well. They did, towards the very end of the second and third map, have those down pat, but EX-SERENITY is a brand new team. Chemistry, strategy, players, it's all completely different from what they were brought out against for Project A. A lot of this is predominantly based towards mid and B to start things off. Look how aggressive Aiko and company are being.
Ooh, such an aggressive little push up through here. Look at that. Going full force ahead to pain train through A, but instead, efforts towards E for Teal Seam. The site, there is just that killjoy. Right here is an aggressive Sean to site and pushing out 2 in the corner. Jobe able to right click himself into staying alive, even if just for a moment. Look at that. They had control of the site, but let's just keep on trucking. Let's just go over to A.
A lot of aggression coming out from Serenity. Allows a good push from Teal Seam going into the site, but a meltdown inside Catwalk. Cade, 15 HP, needs to re-rotate back to B.
Yeah, the pain train going for a devastating train wreck over there as Cade forced back onto B site, but with no teammate backing him up this time around. Any momentum gained surely lost with only 15 health to his name. Doctor, absolutely terrifying. That won't take him out, but Aiko sure will, popping around this corner. EX-SERENITY taking this pistol advantage.
Really nice work from Serenity to start things off. Now having only one body lost, opening round, a lot of buy-up potential, maybe. Or they could go, yeah, well, they are going to buy up here for their short, the light armor and the light weaponry here, but Teal Seam, they're going to opt the force up as well. They don't want to have Teal Seam get that buy up. They want to forego the possibility of having Phantoms and Vandals cleanly into the third round as well. So this is going to be a much more of a brawl fest, a much more bloody affair between the two teams into this next round. And given that it's predominantly towards Catwalk for Teal Seam's side, this mid side is going to be a bloodbath, Sierra.
Oh, it definitely gonna be caught up though. No line of sight in the top of Cat. Being able to push through but not to any avail. Adder Echo both going to be dropping here. Team Steel looking to try and make up for that lost pistol round that they had and doing it so well. Look at that. 4v2. EX-SERENITY looking towards A, but Teal Seam haven't really committed quite yet. Instead, gonna take the long way round back to B.
We rotate back to B. Keep an eye on the KJ utility right outside of B. Of course, those Astral Stars no longer going to be in use, but the mollies certainly are going to be detonatable. Rotate coming through, of course, from Joba is going to allow maybe those mollies to be timed perfectly. One has already gone off, but no. The re-rotate again towards Garden and towards mid now. KJ is going to be completely evaded.
All these re-rotate. And look, they're just going to go back towards E. They're going to push up through mid. Joba is there. Vector in hand, but the clip is empty, and he is going to be paying for that with his life. Serenity, the back foot, it is only 1v4 player. Has half of his health, does have a Spectre, but this is going to be a difficult retake. And at this point, just hope to try and take one down. Not even going to be able to do that.
Great 4K coming out from Cade. Again, a bloodbath to start off the round, but none of it went in EX-SERENITY's favor at all. Just a lot of nebulas going down, blocking off tiles, blocking off, not tiles, Garden and arches. But from there, just blindly peeking through, that should have been Teal Seam's round. They had everything brought up, and it was because EX-SERENITY, they pushed through the nebula, and they just instantly got mowed down. But we talked about those buy up into the rifles, such as the Phantom and the Vandal, not going to be seen. Instead, it's a bonus buy for Teal Seam. They've taken everything we're typically used to for that first pistol round win, and they're flipping the economy on its head.
Dude, a little flip like that to turn EX-SERENITY's world upside down. Doesn't look like they're going to be playing too aggressive now. It did not go so well last time around. Instead, looking for any peek of information. But as the teams play it a little nice and slow, a nice little time for a reminder. 50 viewers on the stream means we will be unlocking exclusive 7 now promo code to get $7 off your next delivery order. So a perfect opportunity to tell your friends that you're about to watch a wicked finals, especially as these teams, they're starting to see a little bit of aggression up towards this mid. Nobody's holding that. There is one side of market. There is a potential rotate from A to try and make up for that. Kind of test the waters here, but at this point, Teal Seam, I'm not even surprised. They're just going to run over to another site.
I mean, with a shorty player, could have the angle. Watching two different ones at once, though.
Oh, the bounce through with the shorty, though. Gonna pay for that with his life. Unable to be confirming it with a kill. Here it is, Teal Seam with all that aggression. Ego will find a slow but patient kill over in mid, but 12 HP. It's going to be Teal Seam taking the lead.
Really nice work from Teal Seam there. 2-1 now. That force buy proving to be really effective. And this is actually the buy up now. What are we, 4 rounds in? Now we get to see the buy up from the opposite team that won the initial round. It's going to be now full armor, op, and vandals for the side of EX-SERENITY. But Teal Seam, they're going to go for their own bonus buy. Everything is topsy-turvy here. But there is a little bit of buy up from 2 rifles as well. It's not out of the realm of possibility to see who can win this round. It could go either way, but it's going to come down to these opening engagements. Ico, Recon Bolt, going down inside Catwalk, going to be spotting out at least Flya, but look at the one-way outside of A main. 2 bodies ready to push up aggressively, but B main's the way to go. KJ utility right outside B main, ready for Joba to activate them either at the perfect time to catch out the entire team, or maybe detonate them too early or too late. Allow Teal Seam to push forwards.
Ooh, a push up through mid. Yoshi's holding that ever so patiently. Whether their paths will cross, I'm not sure. They're just standing on the other side of the wall. And a similar game over in A main. Here it is, the utility coming out, able to get out of the gravity well just in time. But here it is, information gain right around the corner. Aldron's gonna call out Yoshi, but at the same time, calling out. So is going to be
She's spotted
as well at this point, trying to get out of there, but player has him pinned. No chance for you there, bud. Lockdown over on B. A little peek of where we are about to be going here, as right away Joba going to be caught out on site. Does manage to escape just in the nick of time here, but Serenity standing outside now. Gonna deny any push here from TEAL Team.
a little too slow to go for the attack there from TEAL Team's side, and a great ambush too from inside of mid allowed a lot of pinch opportunities from EX-SERENITY to not only find the early information, but also take down SEAL Team before they could even, or TEAL Team, excuse me, before being able to even push into the site. Joba's utility hasn't really even gone off yet. That's why we see this anchor of B site only being 1 and 3. And now, in theory, that might not be the best scoreline in the world, but just the whole presence of the Sentinel KJ has been gigantic about stalling out TEAL Team's attack.
Definitely. And with that, it will be going to a 2-2 for these teams. It's playing it a little bit slower this time around. Information gained up. Pulled up in B main as well. They're not going to be testing that too much. Yoshi trying to push up in the mid, but gets called out with the alarm bot. Before we reinforce to back up a little bit as the rest of the team looks back up towards Cat.
Back up towards Cat. Majority of these defenders still on side of B. The rotate potential from players gigantic as well.
Ooh. Up in tree room, absolute shenanigans there. Babones being able to find that opening pick in TEAL Team. Full aggression. Echo being able to hold back a little bit with that Hunter's Fury, but not in the nick of time. At this point, they have control of the site. There's a rotate coming out through spawn from 2. Nick still fantastic little spot over in A main if anybody wants to try and be holding the spike from that angle.
3v4 now. The Lesser trying to retake the site.
Now player has the op perched up in heaven. Echo making a little bit of noise here. Gonna be a difficult push out and not gonna go faring so well for Echo. Nick giving up the position, and at this point player tries to get away with his life, but gonna be chased down.
Chase down a 2v3, TEAL Team retaking the lead once more. It was an even matchup through and through, or I guess you could say 2 and 2 as well. And oh man, the economy from those beginning rounds is just going to have a huge ripple effect. Look again, EX-SERENITY down to just Sheriffs and Classics. They go into this next round. They do have ults to work with. Player, of course, 2 full armor into the Bladestorm this upcoming round, but Player's been taking a little bit more of a lackadaisical route. They've been holding down on B, playing aggressive with the op on Catwalk, but oftentimes going for the flank watch a little bit later in the round. There it is.
Right out of the way. Gonna be an aggressive push up through mid. They're being able to get a couple right out of the gate, but wow, look at how fast they fell. It's absolute bloodbath all over the map. They're spread out, but that didn't stop.
How long was that round?
Taking them out. Honestly, I collected my thoughts and the round was done. There was no hesitation from TEAL Team in just destroying EX-SERENITY that time around.
I don't think I've ever collected my thoughts once in my life, especially not now. Holy. I mean, immediate dismantlement coming through against EX-SERENITY. I mean, player again did have the knives. They found one. Wasn't a flawless round, but regardless of that fact, even through the nebulas being brought down on tiles, TEAL Team have completely disrespected all the smokes in line of sight denial that EX-SERENITY have been bringing out.
Ooh. Sova doing disgusting Sova things that Odin through that wall bangable spot, going to be taking one down in an early advantage. You'll see him already down 2 people, and B main is not safe. You do not want to be testing a Sova with an Odin out in that spot. No, and look, the op pushed up as well. They might look a little bit further, but that's going to be dangerous. The flash does come out, the gravitational well on top of that. But at this point, they're just going to start trying to get out of there, try and cover a little bit of ground and look towards Cat instead. But Cade, not safe there either.
Ico going for the wall bangs through the wall, pinching out, Vine being spotted as well. Oh no, the mid push. Ico needs to run away. Recombo goes down, but immediately destroyed. Guiding Light doesn't find any contact whatsoever, but the B main contact now reversed for Joba is not going to be on B.
Oh, but at least he got out of that with his life. And this is going to give the opportunity now for Teal Team to try and push towards A. But look who's already on site waiting. Guiding Light, being able to blind Cade. Look at that, 2 kills before going down, putting Flya in a 1v3 situation. As there's already people on site. Player with the Cloudburst, Shorty able to take him down, put any stop to that.
Really good revenge from what happened, I think, in round number 3, where player was right on side of A main, tried to find the Shorty shots through the Cloudburst, unable to do so. Finally gets the revenge to come by. 3v4, still a pretty close matchup between both teams, but also somewhat broken buys, at least for EX-SERENITY, even after winning that last round. Though, Nick and Adder, I believe their teammates can potentially buy for them at least a little bit. It's going to be Nick, though. Only was stuck with the Spectre. Needs to pick up the weapons off of somebody else into this round. Cosmic Divide, the Seekers, and of course the Lockdown in the possession of EX-SERENITY all will add up. But Teal Team, 4 different ults on the board for them as well. B-site is going to be a massacre.
Oh, and right out of the gate, we can see that there's the Seekers. There's going to be the Cosmic Divide on top of that. They are going fast, and just as fast is going to be the rotate coming out from EX-SERENITY to try and cover. I mean, at this point, it seems more than likely that there's going to be full force ahead. There's not going to be a fake here from TLC. Lockdown potential be absolutely huge. They got control of the site, and now it is time for the spike to go down. It'll be a full buy for this retake. This Odin putting in work, but Hunter's Fury coming out on top of that. Larry taking down at least 1, but it's going to be left just down to Adder for this retake. Shock Dart lineup does have the site. There it is, up and around the corner. Larry Banks is able to find that, put Teal Team bringing their advantage a little higher. Larry Banks, any Sova, B-site Ascent, name a better combo. You probably can't any which way. Beautiful work. The lineups unfortunately did miss, but Larry, though, coming in with the Odin, came in clutch at the very end. I'm still concerned about the double lockdown. We could see a B main push again. KJ lockdown super effective for both sides of this map, but much more effective on side of B because it covers the entire site. No Hunter's Furies in the possession of Teal Team after that last round anymore. So these cosmic divides and lockdowns can easily determine how the round's gonna go. Oh, I would love to see a chaotic double lockdown. We're gonna see the one right out of the gate here, going towards A. Holding those close angles, so only 4 seconds left. Yoshi pushing up is gonna find Nick. Player trying to make some sort of impact with that Shorty before being locked down, unable to do so. But look at that, Joba hop around. Might just be a Spectre, but it is going to work in this case. They do have the spike, they do have the site, but a 3v2, very possible if they can just push out a little further onto the site. But look at that. This Odin, absolutely deadly. Joba does have a lockdown in his own back pocket here. Whether this is the case to use it, actually, we won't even get to that. This Odin, just going to put a stop to that. It's going to Aiko. Does on site. But a 3v1 situation, there's going to be the one way, and at this point, everyone peek out and take him out.
Really great roundabout coming out from Flya there. I mean, I wish we had seen the defensive Killjoy lockdown come out from Joba, but in a situation like that where it was already a 2v3, not the best situation to go through with it. But that being said, 3-6 now, could still see that lockdown come underway. Cosmic Divide also in EX-SERENITY's belt. Overall, though, in terms of just rushing into the site, Teal Team have done a great job going for a 4-1 push, it feels like. The majority of these attackers going through A main, clearing away bodies and utility, but one dedicated lurker, in this case being Cade, really good about holding down the other parts of the map for pressure.
For sure, right out of the gate, player having to back up a little bit. Not 1, but 2 guiding lights coming out. As Yoshi being able to just throw onto site, knives in hand, make all this space. Spike right away. It's going to be going down back to another 5v5 retake. There is a Cosmic Divide, EX-SERENITY here if they would like to, as well as that lockdown, which is going to be thrown down here. It is the opportunity to be using it. Still, nobody has gone down yet, but Adder finally being able to make a little bit of space on to site here. 4v4. Not too much time. Everyone hold up in the same spot, each kind of peeking forward. See, gonna come down to straight gunfights, and Yoshi coming out on top with at least 2. But here it is, Nick, once again, by himself. Teal Seam going to be able to hold down A site.
That's the double lockdown, though. This time, Joba bringing out the lockdown gets instantly destroyed, but we talked about that 4-1 pinch again. Teal Seam running through, taking full control of the site, and because EX-SERENITY, of course, are defending 2 different sites, they had to trickle in for their rotates as well. I feel like we haven't seen a full rotate come, or a full retake come through from Serenity in a little while, but half of the team usually goes down before that's even possible. Not a lot of mid-control coming out either anymore. That's EX-SERENITY's bread and butter. Look at this. 4 different bodies all piling on towards mid. This could be asking for trouble.
Ooh, look at that, the push up through Cat. Yoshi's able to find one in the mid, but look at that. The cheeky little cat push not going to work out at all. The gun def was strong, but the flank wasn't there either. Take one down with them, but that's about it, and Teal Seam is going to take that round quickly.
Take one round and pass it around, it feels like, because Teal Seam again, the gunfight dip that we've been seeing through and through for a lot of this tournament, comes out again. We saw the same exact thing happen to Project A in the latter half of the semifinal series, and Teal Seam again, able to play off each other and bait out the aggression that we did see, granted from an eco round for EX-SERENITY, but now the defensive posture again, Killjoy set up towards mid and inside B once again, expecting a full beat rush, and from the looks of it, they might be right about Teal Seam going for a beat rush.
Of course, player managing to get one through the smoke. Nice little shot there. Serenity need any little advantage that they could get, but look at that. Odin going to be denied, but at least traded out. Even 3v3 as the fight for B main continues here. Up around the corner. Now Swarm in hand, going to be taken down, and this is EX-SERENITY's opportunity to try and bring this into an 8-4. And since we're about to go into a swap, perfect time to drop down one Cosmic Divide. Of course, EX-SERENITY does have one at their disposal as well, but not needing to use it quite yet.
Last player standing.
Ooh, knives right in the back, but Fly is able to pop around and a kill with that. On top of that, and knowing players at the back of the site, I'm just going to pick up the spike and I'm just going to go back over to A. Goodbye.
That's right, that Cosmic Divide allows no audio cues about Fly running away to be heard by Jet. That means player, none the wiser. Door, not going to activate. I think it got destroyed. That's okay, though. That would have been an extra audio cue, and still, none the wiser. Player now forced to rotate over. Now that the spike has gone down, only 2 stars to work with here for Fly. A full utility otherwise, but the health is low. There are a lot of options right now for this attacking Astra right now, but it's all down to what this Jet wants to do. Is it aggression? Is it slow? But they approach.
Sounds like aggression going loud.
Oh, they don't check!
Pre-fire a little bit in the angle, but unable to find fire. They're going to go check other angles as well. Check your corners a little more carefully, kids. Fly going to be able to take this round down. Player had the recipe to take this round, but unfortunately, right at the last second, just not enough corner checking.
Oh, if player had just gone a millimeter over, that would have been a very different round. Instead, though, Teal Seam 9-3, EX-SERENITY. This could be the cursing favor for themselves, but these pistol rounds, remember, early on were very, very aggressive towards mid, and they worked out well for EX-SERENITY's side. For the defense, they were able to get a defuse off of it, but very quickly the force buy, which I'm sure we'll see in round 2 of the second half again, really turned the tide for Teal Seam's favor.
Oh, definitely. But I'm intrigued to see how EX-SERENITY is going to approach the attacking end. They are down 6 rounds, but 9-3 curse and a chance to gain momentum on the attacking side could be all of the difference. And there's going to be a lot of pressure towards this mid. There is the Nebula to be denying any line of sight from Cat, which is given the opportunity to push up through market. Clear that out. There is 3 on a B, though. And look at this, a flank out through B main as well. Bloodbath over in the mid, but that flank through B main going to be oh so useful in evening out the score, if even just a little bit. As they're pulling back, going to rush towards A. Teal Seam going just as fast on this rotate, though.
It's all down the Cade and Larry Banks now. holding down the fort, re-rotating back again. Glass is broken, audio cue heard. Adder, though, playing aggressively on A. Now has to dial it back. Double guiding light, a recon bolt for Larry Banks. Gonna reveal that nobody's on site, but guiding light's gonna be gigantic. A turret for first contact could be blinded out by said guiding light as well.
One behind the door. Here it is. Or not
one.
behind the door, sorry.
Pinch.
On the corner. Pinch. Look at that. Each one of them taking an angle. EX-SERENITY able to be holding that down even further. Taking down this pistol round. A pistol round I think they really much needed to try and bring this a little more back.
Now, are we going to see the force buy from TEAL Team? That's the big question right now. That really, I think, expedited everything TEAL Team did into that first half. But now, it looks like we're not seeing the same exact thing. You would think, again, losing the pistol round, force buy again, get 2 rounds in a row, and get rifles for pretty much the rest of the half would be the way to go again, right? But no, this time it's a full dedicated save for the defense.
Dedicated save here, and Serenity playing it a little slower, kind of peeking up through mid, but not, you know, the aggression that there was the same last time around. The Sheriff spam through the Nebula, not gonna find anyone, but guy gonna be calling out that there is someone at least up to market. One popping out, not gonna do too much though. And look at this, TEAL Team, they didn't have the guns. I'm not too surprised by this outcome, but still, so far, flawless, with only one person left in their way of taking down this round easily.
Okay, could be good to find one. No, not gonna happen.
Kane has the whole team staring him down in mid.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, if he was able to take one, congrats to you, but I was not expecting it at that point.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but we don't get to see it. I wish we did. A collective 50 credits each, or for between 2 different people on TEAL Team now for their eco or for their full buy this round. That's about as much money as I own too. I get it, TEAL Team. I completely understand.
Been there, done that.
Oh yeah, but look at this. Attempted full buy too from EX-SERENITY as well. We've seen a lot of aggression these first 2 rounds, but now that we see rifles, things might go a little bit slower. EX-SERENITY's postured towards A main. There's a double Astra Star setup for the Nebula and the Gravity Well, but Killjoy to play off of it. First contact with the turret there too, all in theory. But also to keep in mind, Joba's turret inside of mid is incredibly important for any potential aggressive lurk from TEAL Team. None of that's happening yet. Nobody's making the first move.
He's making the first move, but there will be at least a quiet little march up towards Cat, where on the other end all the Killjoy utility is set up. At least be potentially caught up here, but not too much. Gonna be actually shot down by Cade. Here are the Now Swarms, but at that point, tree room isn't safe. Maybe, you know, mid's the way to go, but being called out with the alarm bot gives the opportunity for the flash, but no, Nick is there. He goes safe. Seekers as well. Gonna try and call out the rest of them as they're gonna go fast and collapse onto B now. There is a couple still on site. There's a fast rotate. Yoshi is holding this angle here. Just waiting. Larry here to join him, but the fast flick there gonna take him down. EX-SERENITY 3v2, 20 seconds left. Getting this plant in. Both of them left in CT to try and push out on the site.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's never impossible. Okay, I say never, but this one not impossible. The 3v2 very winnable, and you know that they're on site. Pops around, is able to find one, but Faya unable to trade and confirm the other. EX-SERENITY with the 6-9.
So now, nice. But now going into this next round, we do have the eco buy again from TEAL Team. Double sheriffs though, at least from 2. These defensive strategies have not worked out for TEAL Team. They're going a little too late for the rotates, I feel, at times, given how aggressive EX-SERENITY can be going from one site to another. But they do have a double initiator setup as well. They have a Killjoy on top of that. This should be easy to find a little bit more info than TEAL Team's really getting at first, but it's all set up so defensively to deny a push that usually TEAL Team ignores, or EX-SERENITY ignores.
For sure. A little bit of noise towards mid for information, but looking to try and catch anybody flanking up too much on A. No such luck though, so attention back towards this midsection. But look at this.
Garden pinch.
A couple of them. Yeah, a little bit of a garden push. A couple from TEAL Team trying to push up through this Cat. Ooh, catches that Echo in the corner. Sorry, bud. Had a little visible popping around the corner. Player is going to be good for multiple here. EX-SERENITY just putting them. Larry, though, fantastic shot to try bring them back into this, but it's going to be left to a 2v1. Cade, Sheriff in hand. There is a bunch of guns up until mid, and EX-SERENITY rotating out towards A.
Guiding Light goes down inside mid. It's not going to find any information. Cade still unknown about where this is all going down up until now. It's a great Slurpee cam to see a beautiful headshot that really let the round keep going, or start going. Cade, though, goes for a full retake. There's an alarm bot right on the mini arches going to A main. Joba holds the first contact off of that alarm bot too. There it is. Joba knows.
Ooh. Doesn't get hit with the alarm bot, but can't be so lucky the second time around. Joba able to take that down. And what was a dominant match so far for Teal Seam on the attacking end is not going so well on the defensive end, as EX-SERENITY is only 2 away from tying this up.
Almost tying it up. Coming very, very close. Serenity now 4 rounds in a row. This seems like it's a very attacker-sided comp. Keep in mind, this is only map number 1. There are still potentially 2 more maps to look at here. But zeroing back in on the strategy or the placement of people here, a lot towards A main. We did see a bit of an attacking lurk before, but 2 now inside of B main. Trailblazer's going to spot at least 1 of them, possibly even 2. But the other 3 outside catwalk still unknown. Look how many bodies are designed though. Positioned in God spot, watching the double pinch right inside of A. Of course, Cade is there as well to back them up from guard inside. It's going to leave Sky by themselves inside B, dialing themselves so far back. They don't want that information revealed that there's only 1 inside B.
Definitely not. Here it is. Teams a little spread out, but with no information so far for them. It looks like they might go back towards A here. Spike at least towards A. Owl Drone coming out. Try and catch someone out. Look how many from Teal Seam are posted up on A, though. Cosmic Divide will make the rush onto site at least a little easier.
But they play into
there's
turret.
going to be a lockdown on top of that. There it is, Shock Dart in the perfect little spot to deny the plant just a little bit. And lockdown is pushing them out from site. That aggressive puts that they wanted to have being absolutely denied here and being forced to be backing up on top of that. But at least getting a couple of kills. But they can get out of here. Player can get out of here. Be able to put this back towards mid could be a very different story, as Adder already on the site. But look how fast Teal Seam is running over.
That rotates very quick.
10 seconds left.
Guiding Light finds 1. Adder playing so aggressively here. 15 HP for Flya. Top of Marketplace. Great spot to be. There is a Cosmic Divide.
It is a Cosmic Divide for Teal Seam. Adder with the power position. Able to take 1 out. There is Yoshi, though, popping around. Being able to get not 1, but 2 to take this round. And finally, a point on the board again for Teal Seam to bring this to a 10-7 and start getting a little bit of that lead back.
And if you're Teal Seam, you couldn't have asked for a better Cosmic Divide to come out on A side, because it played directly into Cade's turret, directly inside where the attackers need to go towards bricks on side of A. And so turret still finds detection even through the Cosmic Divide. Lockdown comes underway, creates chaos for EX-SERENITY, and they push their way to B, and unfortunately it doesn't work out well for them. So the O began kind of that Sentinel utility being placed directly into the Cosmic Divide, but now a timeout comes by for Teal Seam, kind of reevaluating where they're at, winning a very close call for a defensive round. I like this because you don't have to use a timeout if you're losing. Bringing it out now allows a bit of a reset, the momentum shift to happen. Teal Seam, they did win that last round, but it was one of the first few rounds they've won this half. And if they can keep this momentum going, they might be good to take it to map 2 pretty soon.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, you don't have to call a timeout when you're losing, but you don't want to be finding yourself in a losing situation. EX-SERENITY has been strong on the attack so far. Sure, Teal Seam took down the last round, but these are close rounds, and EX-SERENITY is winning a little too many of them for Teal Seam's comfort at this point. So at this point, you just want to take your 3 and bring it over to Icebox. So at this point, maybe they can readjust, kind of figure out what they're doing wrong, put themselves back on top here. But look at this, EX-SERENITY posting up outside of A.
That's right. This is an interesting situation to be seen. The lurk potential again coming out from Joba. A-main aggression, nobody playing on site, but there are 2 Astro Wells to play with.
Asher Wells, but Jet's just gonna go right over that. Try and get control of the site as Aya stuck all the way over in tree room. The rest of the team able to start pushing out onto site. Aldrome be able to at least call out one on top of that. Yoshi does have the knives up in heaven. And, you know, TEAL team hasn't lost a member yet, so they can go for a full rotate. There is a cosmic divide for TEAL team to make this retake a little more bearable. Echo's able to fire back with fantastic. Oh, doubles 100 here actually. Both Novas being able to find a member, but look how well TEAL team has been able to take this retake back. Those ults, that cosmic divide, fantastic retake.
Really like that TEAL team Cosmic Divide, forcing out EX-SERENITY to use their own Huntress Fury as the only source of safe information to be gained. And while it did find a frag, it was the only one that TEAL team had lost in the whole entire situation. And so by then, no audio cues, can't really see exactly where the spike had been planted. It was a beautiful storm for TEAL team to now be 11-12. It's a save round again for EX-SERENITY. They have to say they can't force buy here. We've talked about this so many different times in the tournament so far. If EX-SERENITY's force up here and lose this next round, they're then forced to play a save round against TEAL team on match point for map number 1.
Definitely. But, I mean, to be fair, last time there was a buy-up before a match point, they weren't still able to win the match point. So, you never know. But right out of the gate, EX-SERENITY going to be aggressive player with the knives right through mid in the updraft, trying to clear all of this space to that little pepper on top of that to gain a little bit more information. A pick or two with these knives could be so crucial to changing the tide in this match, despite the fact that it's not even a full buy from the team here. Adder trying to get control of market as well. Fly out on the other side. Waiting, but look around, pop around with the knives. Players able to at least get one. This, despite the fact it was a safe EX-SERENITY, being able to find themselves in an advantage. But the Seekers come out to at least call them out, though not too much surprise to be found. They're all over on B.
Plant goes underway. A 3v2. Bones pushes up towards stairs. 2 inside Rod. 1 canoe. 1 top of green box though to watch out for. Adder so horribly low. Molly comes underway, forcing out the spacing. Look at that up above. The knives go down. A double kill for Bones. One more
with the
Rod.
Double kill. Now it's just a 1v1 Adder in Boathouse. So little HP, but does have an Odin in hand. Bones tries to pop around the corner with the shorty, but unable to do it. Here it is. EX-SERENITY broken by, but able to take the round down.
That would have taken down Sky too with that shorty. 9 HP. Literally anything in the game would have taken them down.
Yep, that's so little HP, but still able to be bringing that round for your team. And I love players' angle there on the box too. I can't deny that was a fun little spot.
Absolutely. And now EX-SERENITY. They do have 1 lockdown on the board here.
Right. Posted up through A. See if anyone will push forward. Recon in mid to try and get some information, as well as EX-SERENITY looks to be playing towards this mid. Alarm bot will at least give away a couple of their plans here. Trying to clear out and see if there's anyone hiding up in any of these corners, but no one to be found. Instead, there's going to be a little flank out from B main.
A little flank out from B main. Larry Banks pushing up. The alarm bot's going to stop it in its tracks, though.
No being sneaky this time around. Ova putting that alarm bot in a perfect spot. And now all eyes to see if anybody would push towards B main. Though that would be a death trap if they wanted to. At this point, a lot of efforts towards tree, towards A instead. There's a couple on site. At this point, Yoshi playing both sides. You know there's one. You know there's one A main. You know there's a bunch in garden. Trying to take these one by one. Unable to do so. Nick being able to get not 1 but 2 and clear out the site. But tree room still another story. 1 does go down, but eventually Perseverance breaks through. EX-SERENITY gets the spike planted and gets to go for the cosmic divide to make it even more difficult for TEAL team.
Beautiful work now. 3v2 through the cosmic divide. Forced to push up. No information.
Ooh, no information with the recon dart there. Being able to get just enough as Kade's able to get those two. Player is on site. Takes one. Both players super low, and this 1v1 player just has to hold the angle, bring it out for his team.
EX-SERENITY really bringing it back now. Great use of the Cosmic Divide, the hold back the defenses a little bit more, but Teal Team again played a little too close to the Divide, hoped to catch them out on the rotate into A, didn't quite work. But now look at the setup again. K does have the alarm bot inside of mid, does have a little bit more utility pressure towards the beginning for first contact inside of B main, but everyone on EX-SERENITY are all split up. They're waiting for that aggressive push from Teal Team again now that it's a pistol round or a sheriff round.
Revealing area.
Definitely a little bit of information trying to be gained mid. There is two up towards mid to be holding that down, but EX-SERENITY playing distance a really slow default.
Very slow. Spike in the possession, though, of Ico. Waiting for someone to push aggressively again towards Catwalk. Not going to happen, though. Majority of the defense here, guiding light prepared by Bones towards mid-side. Trying to coerce EX-SERENITY. Pushing through mid, maybe. Even B main. But someone's waiting very aggressively on the other side of the corner. It's Cade, but this Owl Drone's going to push through. Dissipate happens through the smoke. Wine is clear. Not enough to fully check into the site. It gets blocked off by the Nebula. EX-SERENITY, though, positioned up, allowing Teal Team to push their way through. Catwalk completely uncontested. No one's watching up until now. All on A, except for one.
Teal Team pushing up through Catwalk is a fast push going out onto site. There is still one from each team on the other side of the map, but all the action is towards A. Door gets closed, but it's going to be a lockdown coming out. Spike going down, and Teal Team in shambles. Nobody's nearby ready to be answering this. There is the Owl Drone to get a little bit of information, but that's not going to be enough. Player being able to take him down easily. Now it's just up. A couple left up in heaven to try and make this happen.
Less than 30 seconds.
Ooh.
One enemy
Joba
remaining.
in main. But look, it's going to be Nick in the 1v1 to try and keep his team away from match point here. A little bit of standoff, him and Cade. Look at this, just trying to play time, but gets caught bullet in the back. Cade able to take it just in time to put this in the match point.
On a thrifty round 2, no less. Beautiful work from Teal Team. Now at match point, not using any ults, barely using any weaponry at all. Waiting out the lockdown. It was 13 seconds left after that lockdown dissipated. That was so little time for the rest of Teal Team to go in and find all the angles of EX-SERENITY. But now, a broken bye for EX-SERENITY into what could very well be the final round of this first map. Aggressive, sure, towards B main. It's not something we've seen for a while. Last time we saw an aggressive B main push, it was another save round from EX-SERENITY. But now the pressure has amounted so much more. And look at that main mid pressure as well. They're all watching for the gigantic pinches for this left side of the map.
Of course, information to be found with player following shortly behind. Nice updraft. A nice little angle to try and pop around this corner. Guiding light not going to be enough to stop player in his tracks, though, as player's going to be finding Yoshi and taking him down. EX-SERENITY being able to get 2 picks right out of the gate. A third one, nonetheless. TLC might be on match point, but EX-SERENITY running away so far with this round. A is completely open, and they're going to be running down.
Completely bisecting away all that mid control. There is still a lockdown that Cade could bring out here. Spike goes underway. Can't be penetrable from that angle. One way Cloudburst comes by. Cade forced to push up.
Forced to push up, but look at all the utility. Oh, despite being trapped released for a second, able to find one, but Nick able to just spam up there to find the other two there. EX-SERENITY 2 away from tying this up.
That's right, 2 wins or rounds away, excuse me. They do have the full buy here. It is another save, though, coming from Teal Team. Their economy has just been so odd between both of these halves so far. And so we do get to see another save again. Teal Team then, we can probably assume it will go 11 to 12. A full buy between both teams to find out who can go on to map 2, or if we do see that that overtime. That being said then, I got a lot of mid pressure to start things off. No mid pressure this time from Teal Team at all except for a Killjoy. There is the Astra nearby for the pinch off the Killjoy. A lot more pressure from EX-SERENITY though. The look through catwalk. Shock darts also to destroy utility. But nobody is playing on A at all. It's in a double hide inside of Wine. The rotates from EX-SERENITY have almost always ended on A site. This is a great read from Teal Team. Look at that. Trailblazer comes by. B is seemingly empty as well from mid. That could be a great decisive way to go. And there's only 2 on site prepared for it.
Teal Team giving up mid completely, instead playing deep back in both of the sites here. So this Owl Drone, not to be surprised, not going to be able to catch anybody out. Oh, they have no information at this point. They're pushing up through there, but with nothing to go off of. Still a little spread out. It looks like the call might be towards B. 2 members of Teal Team chilling in the back.
Keep an eye on Cade's turret though. It'll make first contact for everyone going towards B main. That's gonna let everyone know what's up. That Cosmic Divide all but gives away the entire push. Guiding Light though from Marketplace could destroy the turret. And look at this. Adder's gonna push through and go towards the stairs.
Ooh, Guiding Light at the back of sight. Larry Banks trying to hold it down, but going to be going down. Here it is. There was the lockdown. 4 detained. Fly's playground at this point. Going for the nut. Oh. The disrespect. I thought for a second he was about to get punished for that knife, but not able to knife for that last kill. Teal Team able to take this first map, bring this into a game 2. 4 detained off of that lockdown though. That's not something we get to see too often.
No, by no means do we get to see that too often. I mean, the detain is so strong from Killjoy, right? It lasts 13 seconds. There's plenty of opportunities to push forwards and destroy it. But 8 seconds of being detained once you're in that situation, you're forced into a cage. That's why Killjoy is so strong on Ascent, because no matter what, if you're detained on A or B site, it's a death sentence almost 100% of the time. And we saw that 4 times over for the side of the attackers, but that's okay though. We do get to move on to map number 2, get to see if we have the revenge shot for EX-SERENITY, if they can bring it back against Teal Team again. But Sierra, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty hungry after that one.
For sure. We are going to go to a short little break, but it is your opportunity to go for the 7 Now app. Try and get yourself a little snack. It is we're going to have a map 2, might even get a map 3 in this final. So it's your opportunity to download that, get yourself a little snack, a little bit of dinner, and you get free delivery and a free Slurpee for the first 3 times. So you can get yourself 3 snacks in the course of this broadcast.
Nice.
But this is your opportunity to go get that. We're just going to be a couple of minutes as the players get reset. We'll be right back.